Good morning and welcome to the 2023 Clunes Historic Vehicle Show. I'm Chris Londish, the club president, and I welcome you to the show and this video.
Oh, we're over here with my old Datsun 1300 Ute, which is 1965. It's the rarest one of all of them, with being the single headlight. They only had the single headlights in for the 1 year, 1965. And I got it for my dad in 1976, and we put a Datsun 180B engine and gearbox in it. It's all fully engineered, and it's never been out since 76. It's done 313,000 miles. And currently I use it for towing the dirt bikes or a caravan, and it's always been a great little vehicle. I'm here with Russ Marshall, the president of the HCVCA, and Russ has been tireless in help the club grow and keep the club truck going.
Yep.
Yeah, and they've turned up at Clunes every year, haven't you, Russ?
Yep, we have. We've been here for what?
Yeah.
15 years.
15 years, pretty much now. Yeah,
and it's getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger all the time.
Look at it today.
Yeah. Russ comes over in his Studebaker, camp in the back, don't you, mate?
Yep, I do. Yeah, in the back. Yeah.
So Russ is running the club truck today, and we really appreciate him coming along.
Yeah, trying to sell a bit of gear.
Good on you, Russ.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
Good to see you, mate.
Thanks, Russ. Yeah, I've got Murray Pope here with me today. We're having a chat about his Albion, and Murray was the founding member of our Ballarat branch of the HCVCA, and he's also a life member of the HCVCA. And I'd just like Murray to say a few words on his Albion truck.
Thanks, Lasso. Well, originally this truck came out from England. It was used by BP around Melbourne, and we think it then finished up at Arthur Hillgrove's at Birchip, towing a water cart and his earth-moving works. And I eventually obtained it. She was in pretty sad condition, and it cost a lot of money to bring it up to where it is today, but it's a bit of an icon. 1951 model, and it goes well. Very slowly, but it goes well.
Yeah, and Murray, I believe it was doing a Perth run there for some stage.
Well, a chap the name of Arthur Gilligan had one the same, and he used to run from Sydney to Perth constantly, one trip every 3 weeks.
Bit different to today.
36 mile an
hour. they run Perth in about, I don't know, 3 days now.
Oh yeah,
over and back, right, don't they? Yeah. Yep. All right. Well,
that's different.
Yeah, and Murray's currently restoring a common knocker as well, aren't you, Murray?
Yes.
Yeah.
The 190 as well.
And the 190 Inter.
Yep.
So, yeah.
We're right into it.
Right in. Good on you, Murray. Many more to come. Thank you. I'm over here at the moment with Warren Harris, who's been a founding member of the club as well here in the Ballarat branch. And just like to hand you over to Warren now so he can tell us a little bit about his AEC militant and his international.
We've got an AEC, 1954 AEC militant, which was Department of Minerals and Energy here in Australia, and then went into private hands with a drilling rig on it, and then a compressor. On the back we've got a K4, 1948 K4 International, which has a lot of history with Ballarat from Morris Ellis, who were tank makers and engineers in Sturt Street in Ballarat. That's come back home again from being in Mildura for a lot of years. So it's good to have it back, the old windmill truck.
We're over here at the moment. This is a 1942 Morris CS6. It was one of the last ones with the 6-cylinder engine. It was built for the war effort by Morris in England, and it's been on a farm out at Malort, which was sold up, and the only piece of equipment that the owner wanted to keep was this Morris, and it's on loan to a very good friend of ours, Barry Datsun, to bring to shows like this, and it's something that none of us have ever seen before. The English vehicle aficionados say that these things are so rare in Australia. They're only bought out here in a very small number. So we're very happy to have it come along. I'm over here with Peter Berry at the moment, and he's got this beautiful old Albion. And Pete, what can you tell us about the Albion, matey?
This Albion was built in Scotland in 1954. It was brought out to Sydney in 1955, bought by a Leonard Hobbs for East Doncaster. He was an orchardist. He had this and another one, and they used to do a run to Sydney with apples.
Wow, that would have been back in the days when there was not a lot of bitumen up that way.
No, none at all. It was a round trip used to take a week.
Wow, yeah. Hence the tandem drive and all that. It would have got through the rocky and muddy bits.
Yeah, no,
better than most.
They went really well, and they of course got replaced as the Hume turned from a highway into a freeway. These slow old trucks just were relegated to other duties.
Right,
this one finished up on Melbourne Wharf, moving containers around.
Wow, that's excellent. Pete, and I noticed you've got a restoration ongoing on the tray there. What have we got there?
A 1932 Thornycroft Bulldog.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Very, very rare truck. There's only a few left in the world. And that'll be our next project after we've done what we're doing now.
Good on you, Pete. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Just over here having a look at Bill Dawes' 1961 Thornycroft, and Bill's painstakingly restored this over a few years, and he's been bringing it to the show. And I remember him telling me a story when he built it up, put the engine back in the truck, and he basically only had to look at it and it was running. He said it was the easiest starting, quietest running diesel that he's come across. So we're always very pleased to have Bill turn up, and the Thorner Croft is such a rare truck in our country. So good on you, Bill, and thanks for bringing the Thorny Croft out to us. Yeah, I'm over here with Peter Bandy, Rod Jones and Roy, and we're just having a look at the vintage engines, and I'd just like you guys to let people know your club name and the interest you've got in the old engines. Pete?
Well, it's Ballarat Engine Machinery Preservation Society, but everyone just refers to as the Ballarat Engine Club. We're based at the Ballarat Airport in one of the old World War II buildings. A lot of these old engines might date back to the early 1900s. Just like to invite anyone who'd like to join the club to come along.
That's great, Pete. Thank you very much. And Rod Jones has always been involved in the engines and the truck side of things. And Rod, what have you got here today?
Yeah, I've got a bit of bag handling stuff. I've been playing around with engines since I was a kid, since about 8 years old. A bit young to stop yet, so we're still going.
And Roy, what have you got here today?
A Wolseley engine driving. I don't know the name of the pump. A Fairbanks Morse. It's got a dry radiator on it.
Yes.
Yeah. It was used mainly on lighting plants in America.
Oh, excellent. Good on you, Roy, and thanks for coming out, fellas. It's always a pleasure. Over here now, and we're having a look around, and Georgie Pyre's AS 182s here, and Georgie, you know, he did a master class a few years ago. It's showing us all how he could tarp a truck with ropes, and George tarped a whole truck in 7 minutes one side, and every rope would make a twanging sound. He had them done that tight, and George was tarping trucks for a lot of his trucking life with this truck, and he also had it as a tipper as well, and he worked it until he retired. He's kept the truck, and it's been absolutely everywhere. He's always at the show, and George is one of the hardest working people we've got in our whole club. He parks up all the vehicles and helps get everything organised, and he's an absolute treasure. So good on you, George. Thank you. Just met up with Tim Preston, and Tim Preston has been a person I've known for many, many years, and he's in part of a family business, and I'd just like to talk about the G88, Tim.
Yep, no worries, Ronnie. My grandfather started our business in 1950. We're now into our 4th generation with my young blokes working in the business. So 77, they bought a new 88, had it operate on the road. They ran Volvos for a fair few years. About 10 years ago, decided let's get one and have a bit of a tidy up and get it back to something similar to what it was. So luckily enough to get it all up and done and running, and it's just something takes a bit of fun out of the job compared to the daily working of them, that's all.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that when these came out, they were absolute luxury to drive. They were quiet.
Yeah, absolutely, and same as European stuff, it's always been that little bit above the American stuff for ride and stuff, but just back in those days the reliability wasn't there, I suppose. But
yeah. And it's great to see one in such pristine condition now.
Well, we haven't spent a fortune on it, but it just does what it does, and it's a good bit of downtime, like everyone else in the club and everyone. And even by today, the amount of people that are here. Yeah. It's amazing the amount of people that got equipment hiding in the shed somewhere.
It is so, yeah. Talk about hiding in the shed, Tim. I reckon there's a 1418 down there with your name on it.
Yeah, it sort of snuck into the back of the paddock as well. He was another one of those things. We were bidding on another G88 at an auction. It looked a bit rough. Thought, no, I'll just let it sit. No one was bidding on the bends, so we snuck the old bends into the system. They never ever had them on the road, but it's just we have them around the yard and still use this thing every day in the yard as a yard truck, just for poking trailers. It's too good a condition to do it, but what do? You've got to have them. Yeah. And they're just a great old banger. So, hit the key, got air, everything's right to go. So.
Everything's good to go and nice and quiet and all that.
Everything on this, we got it running out of the auction that hadn't ran for 12 years, hit the key, ran straight away, like as if they do start every day.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those trucks, it's just everything on it works. So the previous owners have spent money on it.
Yeah. And Tim, I can remember many years ago, 1983 it was, your granddad's UD came into our workshop and it was a CK10, I remember it vividly, at 5-speed gearbox in those back then. And 20-foot tray on it, and it came in and the engine was absolutely worn out. We gave it a new lease of life and it never missed a beat for as long as we can ever remember now.
My grandfather drove that up until his early 70s when he retired. But he was still that was Pa's truck. That was what he did, and he was 2 and 3 trips a day into Melbourne every day, hand loading chaff or hay or stuff like that all the time. So luckily them hard work days are over. But
that's the great thing about these shows. There's all these different stories that come out of it. And Tim's also got a beautifully restored old Austin truck.
Austin, 1950 Austin that my grandfather started the business with. We've actually got it in the showroom in the office in there now. So it takes a bit of getting out. We were going to get it out, but we sort of ran out of time this year and just thought, just can stay in the office out of the weather again for another 12 months. So.
Good on you, Tim. Thanks for coming along. Always a pleasure.
Good show, mate.
Cheers. Thank you. So we're just over here and just met up with Rob Rawlins. Rob's been coming to the show every year since the inception of the show, and he's driven this old Bedford from Murray Bridge every year. And I reckon he's done really well to manage that. So Rob, you've upgraded. What's going on?
Yeah, I just upgraded a bit flash and a bit quicker. So a bit more, few more mod cons in it.
Yep. And I see the Bedford parks in the back.
Yep. The Bedford parked in the back, so no.
Right. So how long have you been working on the Atkinson, Rob?
Took me about 18 months. So from start to finish it was about 18 months. And been going now for about a month, I guess.
Good on you. Thanks very much for coming along, Rob. Cheers.
No worries, thank you.
No worries. standing here with John Payne. John Payne's been on our organising committee since day one, and something that a lot of the members didn't know, that John is a life member and has been for now probably over 3 years. And congratulations, John, and we really appreciate your efforts. And John runs around from a Wednesday till Sunday night, helping out every year, and it's just been fantastic. Good on you, John.
Yeah, no, it's all been worthwhile to be part of a club like this with, well, all the experience that you see with the people here and the different vehicles. It's well worth it.
Good on you, John.
People seem to enjoy what we do.
Good. And it's all about getting the people out and about, and you know, have a look at some stuff. It's great.
Showing the youth.
Yeah. And congratulations again on your life membership. Thank you. On behalf of the organising committee of the HCVCA Ballarat branch, I'd like to thank everybody that's been involved and helping us out to get this show on the road, keep it going, and for the countless hours that people have put in. And we've had a good look around the place, and we're more than happy with the outcome today. So we appreciate everybody that's come along today, and until next year, see you again.